trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. Our top story, the White House preparing to unveil its plan today to lower gas prices, including releasing another 15 million barrels of oil from the nation's stockpile. The president's announcement expected this afternoon. ABC's Justin Finch has the details.
Though Americans are now paying less on average to fill up their gas tanks, today the White House is expected to roll out its plan to bring even more relief to U.S. households.
Should the president not do everything that he can to lower prices? Should he not continue to keep his promise to give American people a little bit of breathing room?
President Biden is expected to authorize releasing 15 million oil barrels from the U.S.'s Strategic Petroleum Reserve. The final dispersal of the 180 million barrels the president pledged in March from the nation's stockpile. But critics say the 15 million barrels isn't enough, considering the U.S. consumes about 20 million barrels per day. That last round of reserve oil due for release in December after the November midterm elections.
I think the key story there is this administration doing as much as we can to help increase the energy supply? And I think the answer is unequivocally yes.
They should be talking about how much things cost at the supermarket, at the gas pump, how people feel unsafe on the streets.
Republicans fine-tuning their midterm messaging around inflation and the economy, with early voting underway in some states. That as gas prices have dropped 5 cents in the last week, but the national average for a gallon of gas is now 20 cents higher than 1 month ago. The president is also expected to go after oil companies, which have seen record profits this year. The White House plan also comes weeks after OPEC Plus announced it's cutting oil production by 2 million barrels per day starting in November. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
And Republican candidate for governor Ashley Kalus being joined by former Rhode Island Supreme Court Justice Bob Flanders this morning to present a case on why her plan to roll back winter heating energy rate hikes is legally sound. ABC6 News reporter Yanni Trigelis was there for the announcement. He's in the newsroom with more. Yanni?
Doreen, well, at this event this morning, Ashley Kalus and Bob Flanders outlining a 143-page proposal that Kalus's campaign has put together, which would put winter heating bill increases on hold and instead incrementally put these hikes into future bills when costs start to fall again.
Under this legislation is empowered to declare an energy crisis and establish and implement programs and plans to control and regulate all energy and energy resources.
Ashley Kalus launching her latest attack against Governor McKee, alongside former Rhode Island Supreme Court Justice Bob Flanders, to talk about the legal reasons as to why Kalus's plan to roll back increases of nearly 50% to Rhode Islanders' electricity bills is legally sound.
Smoothing out the increases over time so that they could eventually be recovered.
Kalus has criticized the governor in the past month over what she's called a lack of action since the Public Utilities Commission approved raising Rhode Island energy customers' electric bills by $50 a month.
What is less acceptable is a governor who has the ability to help working people and that does nothing. Just because an idea comes from your political opponent doesn't mean that you should not take it if it helps the people of Rhode Island.
McKee, however, disagrees with Kalus's assertion that enacting an energy crisis is warranted. The McKee administration releasing a statement in response, saying the Energy Crisis Management Act was passed to address supply shortages, not to roll back prices. Also adding that taxpayers would be put on the hook for millions of dollars in lengthy litigation. 100% assert that, if this were enacted, there would be no legal backlash whatsoever?
Oh, of course not. I mean, you can't do anything these days without somebody potentially challenging you. So no one could give you a guarantee that somebody wouldn't challenge it.
And another Public Utilities Commission approval, this one to raise gas bills by over $200 for this winter, is also likely coming soon. That one would go into effect starting November 1st. In the newsroom, Yanni Trigelis, ABC6 News.
All right, Yanni, thank you. We turn now to the weather as we take a live look outside right now with our sky cam and a bright and sunny, beautiful October day out there. A little cool, but it's October, Chels.
Exactly. We are sitting in October. Those fall colors are peeking through the Providence area. Much of Rhode Island getting those great fall colors right now. And the next couple of days are really going to show them off. We see sunshine across the area. Our temperatures are sitting in the mid-50s range. That is cool for this time of year. We have a breeze that's picked up from the west-southwest around 16 miles per hour. Most of us are sitting in that low to mid-50s range. We should be in the low to mid-60s still for the middle part of October. So it's definitely a cooler than average day and much cooler than yesterday, running about 5 to 10 degrees cooler in most locations right now compared to yesterday at this time. Of course, yesterday we had rain to start the day, started to pop into some sunshine in the afternoon. Lots of sunshine today, and that was right from the get-go. And we're going to stay mostly sunny. You can see clouds off to our east, clouds off to our west. We are looking at mainly sunny conditions. We're kind of wedged between the low that's still spinning off to our west. That lifts actually north of us, and we'll continue to see sunshine across the area in the coming days. We're looking at clear conditions overnight and temperatures again dropping down to the 40s. I'll have much more in just a few minutes. Doreen.
All right, Chelsea, thank you. Well, this morning, a 19-year-old charged with the murder of a man in Pawtucket back in January appeared in court for his arraignment. ABC6 News reporter Natalie Norrie joins us live in the capital city with the details. Natalie?
After being charged with the killing of a Pawtucket man earlier this year, 19-year-old Elijah Soto appeared before a judge today here at Providence Superior Court, pleading not guilty on all charges. Soto was arrested back in January and was charged with the murder of 28-year-old Giovanni Velez. Last week, Soto was indicted on 8 charges by a grand jury for charges of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, carrying a pistol without a license, firing the weapon resulting in death, and several other drug-related offenses.
And based on the nature of the offenses and the mandatory life sentences that the defendant is facing, the state is requesting that he be remained held without bail.
As you heard, 19-year-old Elijah Soto is facing a life sentence if found guilty on these charges. Soto's now being held without bail, and his pretrial is set to begin November 21st. For now, reporting live in Providence, Natalie Norrie, ABC6 News.
All right, Natalie, thank you. And new at noon, Providence firefighters say a car crash may have led to a boiler fire on Silver Lake Ave this morning. Fire crews responded just after 8 for a report of a boiler fire in the basement of a house. That fire was put out, and fire officials tell us it's thought to be caused by a car hitting a pole, knocking out power at that house and another business earlier in the morning. Everybody got out of the house. Nobody was hurt. And your voice, your vote. A new poll finds that the race for Massachusetts governor is not looking like much of a race at all. Suffolk University pollsters found Attorney General Maura Healey up 56 to 33% over Republican nominee Jeff Deal. Only 6% of voters said they are undecided. The two candidates have their final debate tonight. Outgoing Republican Governor Charlie Baker rated as the most popular in the country in the latest national poll, but he didn't endorse either candidate in this race. And early voting begins today in Rhode Island. If you're interested in taking part, you can stop at any Board of Canvasser location across the state to submit your early ballot. If you plan to vote by mail and didn't file an application, the time is up. The deadline was 4 p.m. yesterday. Remember, the midterm election is just 3 weeks away on November 8th. And voters in Massachusetts looking to take part in early voting for the November election, you can do so starting October 22nd. You can take part by going to your city or town hall. Bay State voters who are voting by mail, the deadline to submit an application is November 1st. And those looking to register to vote, the deadline is October 29th. For more information about voting in both Rhode Island and Massachusetts, as well as the issues and the candidates in the November general election, we have an election guide for you. It's up on our website. That's abc6.com. And a traffic alert today. A temporary ramp from Route 6 East to Route 10 South in Providence will open tonight. The new ramp is about 500 feet past the current exit and will get drivers onto Route 10 toward Cranston. It will also connect with the closed section of the newly built Westminster Street Bridge, then onto a new service road that links back to Route 10 South. RIDOT does not expect significant congestion on the ramp, but does encourage drivers to reduce their speed and drive carefully. Still to come here on the news at noon, more than 25 years later, a guilty verdict in the Kristen Smart case. Why the family is continuing its quest for justice. And later, a Massachusetts man giving away $1 million a week. Why? Checking national headlines now. The latest on the guilty verdict in a more than 25-year-old murder case in California. The former classmate of Kristen Smart convicted of first-degree murder after she went missing back in 1996. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
It was a murder case that gripped the nation, and now the family of Kristen Smart is one step closer to justice.
We are grateful and appreciate the diligence and energy of the two juries to thoroughly review the facts and reach their decisions.
Smart was the California college student who vanished in 1996. A jury found 45-year-old Paul Flores, a former classmate, guilty of her murder. Flores' father, who was tried at the same time as his son, found not guilty of helping to dispose her body. Smart, who was 19 years old at the time, was last seen on her way home from a Cal Poly party with Flores. Authorities say Flores killed Smart in his dorm room during an attempted rape. Prosecutors say Smart was highly intoxicated, potentially drugged. Flores was later questioned about her disappearance, but charges were not filed against him at the time. Authorities acknowledged missteps by detectives over the years and credited a podcast and its creator in helping crack the case.
His podcast helped to identify additional new witnesses and the collection of important evidence that was critical in the prosecution of this case.
In the trial, prosecutors presented evidence including soil samples that they said showed Smart's body might have been buried under the elder Flores' deck. Ruben Flores maintains he and his son had nothing to do with Smart's murder.
I feel bad for him because I didn't get no answers about what happened. There is no evidence against anybody, me or Paul.
Paul Flores is looking at a possible life sentence as Kristen Smart's family continues their quest for justice. Her body has still not been found. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, we're going to check in with Chelsea for a look at that full 7-day forecast right after this.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Chelsea Priest.
Really is a beautiful day across southern New England. We are on the cool side of things. We woke up on the cool side of things, but it's still pretty nice for October. We are looking at sunshine across Block Island right now. The water is relatively calm, even with a little bit of a breeze out there early this morning. Temperatures are looking in the low to mid 50s range, 54 in Providence right now, 52 in Smithfield, 54 in Westerly, 53 in Newport, 56 in New Bedford. A change from yesterday. You'll remember yesterday afternoon, after a rainy start, we started to pop into some sunshine, especially through eastern Mass. We had temperatures coming up into the 60s yesterday, which is pretty typical for this time of year. Today, with temperatures in the low to mid 50s, we're running 5 to 10 degrees cooler than average. It's not extreme, but it is cooler than average. Our average high is 63 degrees still for this time of year. Average low 44, and many of us woke up this morning in the 30s. It looks like overnight we'll dip back down to the upper 30s and low 40s. Breeze is coming in out of the southwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour with some gusts coming in around 20 miles per hour at times. It's nothing overly windy, but a little bit of a breeze continues this afternoon. And tomorrow looks to be a very similar day to today. We'll see high temperatures today in the mid to upper 50s range. Tomorrow also in the mid to upper 50s range. Friday more seasonable, making it into the low 60s. And then Saturday is the day that we're going to look forward to. We have temperatures in the mid to upper 60s range. There may be some spots inland getting closer to 60 degrees, and we'll stay in the mid 60s through the end of the 7-day forecast. So today actually the coolest day in our 7-day forecast. Satellite radar image shows you dry, quiet conditions. High pressure is in control over the northeast. The cold front from yesterday and early the week pushing offshore. There's this low pressure systems. It's been spinning over the Great Lakes the past couple of days. I've been showing you this area just kind of spinning around since Monday. It brought some snow through western Pennsylvania early this morning. The low is gradually weakening. It is going to lift north of us as we head through later today. Besides a passing cloud, we are looking at sunshine continuing. And we don't tap into those incredibly cool temperatures and way cooler than average temperatures that are happening off to our west. Again, 54 degrees in Providence. 5 to 10 degrees cooler than average today. But take a look at the temperatures right now in Buffalo and Cleveland and Chicago. In the 40s right now. That is way below where these locations should be for this time of year. So we're not dealing with the extreme cold. We just have some slightly cooler than average temps out there. Overnight will be clear and cool again. Tomorrow looks sunny. Highs in the mid to upper 50s. Even better for Friday. More sunshine continuing and highs into the low 60s range. Sunshine continues as we head into Saturday. Saturday going to be the pick of your weekend. On Sunday, a few more clouds coming in. Later in the day, some rain starts to move in. Mostly sunny today. It's a cooler day than what we've been seeing. Highs in the mid to upper 50s. Tonight will be mainly clear and chilly. Lows will dip down to the low 40s range. And then tomorrow you'll see sunshine. It'll stay cool. High temperatures in the upper 50s range. Again, nothing extreme. We're just looking at some slightly cooler than average temperatures. Friday into the low 60s, exactly where we should be. And then Saturday is going to be that weekend day to do all the fun fall Halloween things. Temps in the mid to upper 60s. Sunday looks decent during the morning. I would say later in the day, be prepared for clouds and some rain moving in.
All right. Wow. Circling those days on the weekend, though. My goodness.
Today's the coolest day on the 7-day. I mean, from here, we continue to warm up.
Crazy
Not
to
bad.
think of.
Yeah.
All right. We are getting closer and closer to the second half of this. All right. Thanks, Chels. Well, coming up here at noon, the accusations of insensitivity that Netflix is facing for debuting the new season of The Crown so soon after Queen Elizabeth's death, how the company is responding. And the Massachusetts man giving away $1 million a week and why he says he's doing it. In entertainment news, with just weeks to go before season 5 of The Crown premieres, addressing the breakup of Princess Diana and Prince Charles's marriage, Netflix is kicking the can down the road with its forthcoming documentary about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. The streamer continues to weather accusations of insensitivity for debuting the new season of The Crown so soon after Queen Elizabeth's death. Given that the Harry and Meghan doc is said to be critical of the royal family, Netflix has delayed its scheduled November release until sometime next year. And we've got our first trailer for Creed 3, once again starring Michael B. Jordan as the boxing champ. Jordan returns to the ring as Adonis Creed in Creed 3. It is the actor's directorial debut alongside franchise newcomer Jonathan Majors as Damian Anderson. This is the first trailer for the boxing threequel, a continuation of the Rocky franchise. It's due in theaters March 3rd. And a Massachusetts billionaire doing some good. He's giving away $1 million a week. Rob Hale runs Granite Telecommunications in Quincy. For the past year, he and his wife have been on a mission to gift $1 million a week to small nonprofits. Some of the organizations who've gotten checks include the Joanne Druzzi Foundation and the New England Wildlife Center. And still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, someone get her some Thin Mints stat. Details on the largest donation ever to the Girl Scouts. Plus, Chelsea has another look at your afternoon forecast right after this. Well, the Girl Scouts of America getting its largest donation ever. Mackenzie Scott, the ex-wife of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, gifting the organization $84.5 million. The Girl Scouts saying that Scott and the national chapter will choose 29 local councils to get that money, which will be used in part as membership grants in underserved communities.
It's amazing.
What an unbelievable and selfless act.
No kidding. But the money's going to go so far.
And it's such a great program, too, and I say that as a Girl Scout troop leader. But it really is so nice to find these ways to get these little girls together and learn about improving themselves and everything else.
You tell me about all the different lessons and
exactly.
And badges
We're talking about famous females at our next week. So there you go. See, those are the kinds of things that she's helping.
things. That's awesome.
Yep.
We have some really beautiful weather ahead of us today. You're looking at sunshine, breezy conditions. It's on the cool side of things, but today's the coolest day on our 7-day mid to upper 50s out there. Mid to upper 50s again tomorrow. We wake up on the chilly side of things both tomorrow and Friday morning, but Friday we make it back into the 60s. Right now Saturday's looking beautiful with highs in the mid to upper 60s range. Sunday morning starts okay. Late in the day, clouds roll in and some rain begins to move into the area.
All right, making those plans, Chelsea. Thank you, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues first at 4. Have a great day, everybody.